What is happening, all you YouTube warriors out there? Range Day Bro back at it again. Today, I have a very good video. We're going to be going over the ATX Armory ADONIS-15. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So I've been toying with the idea of doing a review on this guy for quite some time because it is one of my favorite builds. It is the only build I have with a billet upper and lower receiver, and this was done by ATX Armory over there in Leander, Texas. Previously in Austin, they just moved locations to Leander. They're still called ATX Armory. This is a phenomenal upper and lower machined receiver set. Now, the one thing I wish it was ambidextrous. It is not ambidextrous, but as you can tell, the fit and finish on this guy is absolutely phenomenal. They actually did the Cerakote on this as well for the upper and lower, and then they sandblasted and matched my Geisley Mark IV rail to the color that we have here. So it turned out beautiful. I'm very happy with it. And what I'm going to do today is just run over the parts I have in this guy and talk a little bit about what it's like to shoot. From the beginning, my objective with this was to create the best 5.56 suppressed gun that I could. 5.56 isn't the best caliber to suppress. There are plenty of better calibers to run suppressed, like 300 Blackout. Insert other caliber here. It's probably one of the hardest ones to suppress, actually. In fact, I put some things on here that I thought would make it a little bit better shooting for being a 5.56 caliber that I wanted to shoot suppressed. So let's just start at the front and then work our way back. At the front here, we have a Dead Air Nomad 30. This is their just standard Nomad can. This isn't their titanium. This isn't their long version. This is just the original Nomad. I do have it with a Chemo quick detach on here. Underneath that Chemo is the Dead Air flash hider, pinned and welded. So we have a 14.5-inch FN cold hammer forged, chrome lined machine gun barrel, as they call it. That is topped off with a pinned and welded Dead Air flash hider here, which makes this overall length over 16 inches, making this a rifle, hence the B5 system, which we'll get into in a second. Back from behind there, we have a Superlative Arms adjustable gas block on here. Again, I wanted to optimize this for suppressed use, so I have an adjustable gas block on here. Holding and covering all this up is going to be the Geisley Mark IV rail, one of my favorite rails of all time. It is a beast. It looks phenomenal. It is rock solid, bomb proof, but it's still got a good amount of weight savings in it. It's not super duper heavy, but it is a little bit on the heavy side as far as rails go, but it is that perfect size. It's got that crucifix kind of shape to it, which I really love, and it's got these rails up here in the front, pick rails, all machined right in. It also has QD cups on the front two sides right here on both ends, and also back here towards the upper receiver. What else can I say about the Geisley rail? It's a phenomenal rail. I love it. And as I mentioned, they did Cerakote this to match the upper and lower, so that's awesome. Now, getting back to the upper and lower receiver, which are the staples of this guy, the building blocks. These are direct from ATX Armory. They have their little logo up here at the top. It just looks phenomenal. The machine work on this is incredible. Can't say enough good things. The trigger guard is machined right in. Again, it's not ambidextrous. That's the only thing I kind of wish it was. However, it is a phenomenal fit and finish. Has a nice big flared magwell on here. You can't go wrong with that look. I mean, it just looks incredible. Obviously, they're matched and they are rock solid. There's no play between these upper and lower receivers. They also have that little rubber tip screw underneath your pistol grip, so that if you wanted to use their lower on a different upper receiver, you could go ahead and tighten that down so you wouldn't have any play there. Behind that, inside that rather, I have a BCM bolt carrier group. Can't go wrong with that. They just run. And then I have a Strike Industries enhanced dust cover here. It's aluminum. Come with some little rubber pads here, which is nice. So when it opens up, it's real quiet. Doesn't make any noise when it comes down. A mil-spec magazine release. On the other side, I have a oversized bolt release and bolt catch. Don't know the brand of that guy, but it works. I have a Radian selector here on the 45, which I really love. I have a Magpul MOE K2 grip, and inside of there, there's some nice storage in the bottom, which I really like. And also featured in this lower receiver is the Geisley Super Dynamic 3-gun trigger, which I really freaking love. That trigger is phenomenal. And then going back to the upper receiver, I have a Radian forward assist here. One more thing on the upper receiver is I have the PRI Gas Buster charging handle. This guy has a little groove machined out on the side to kind of help the gas go away from your face. And on top of that is just super oversized and comes up really high over here about on the back of the upper receiver to keep gas away from your face. That guy is really nice, and it's been pretty helpful. I have noticed a little difference using that over a standard Radian Raptor charging handle, the ambi ones. It is not ambidextrous, but it is FDE, so it kind of matches the build. And then back from there, I just have a standard back plate, standard buffer tube, and the B5 system stock. Overall, fit and finish is top notch. You can't go wrong with a Geisley rail. And having this be directly from ATX Armory, the upper and lower match, they are made for each other, a match made in heaven. I have no complaints there whatsoever. I do have the most expensive scope in my collection, the Trijicon Credo 1-8 on here, and with the ADM scope caps. Now this is a 1-8. It does have dual illumination, green and red, and it is a first focal plane. It's sitting inside of the ADM 30mm scope mount because this is a 30mm tube. Lets plenty of light in. Even on the 1-power, it has a nice big segmented circle for reference. And then as you zoom in, that segmented circle does explode. Some people complain about that kind of taking up some of their sight picture. However, it doesn't bother me. This guy shoots phenomenally well. It's a bit heavy with this big old LVPO on here. I didn't really go for a weight savings. This is more of a bomb-proof kind of go to war in space kind of build. And it is not disappointed me yet. With this trigger, with this scope, I'm getting pretty badass groups. So overall, guys, would I recommend ATX Armory? Absolutely. If you could find their upper and lower receiver sets online, I highly recommend them. They do some pretty badass camo patterns and Cerakotes, things like that. A huge fan of this build. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the ATX Armory? Do you think it's a bit much or do you think it's badass? Now, I believe their upper and lower receiver sets are going for about $425 to $450 as of 2021 pricing. Now, that may have changed. I know they have been investing in themselves. They bought their own CNC machine, so they're doing all this in-house now, which I think is fucking badass. On top of that, they're really quality people over there, and I love to support and help local businesses out. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If it's your first time here, thank you for checking out the video, and I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. A lot of you viewers who are watching aren't actually subscribed. It would mean a lot to me if you guys click the subscribe button. It helps me tremendously and gives me that extra motivation I need to keep these videos cranking out. And if you're a return viewer, thank you for your loyalty, you sexy YouTube warrior. And until next time, stay safe, stay dangerous. Range day, bro.